And we're in. And we're on.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
It's incredible how we just get ready right as that countdown ends.
We got that get right time.
We're true professionals on this show.
Yeah,
We're true professionals.
That's one word for it. Yeah.
You know what would make me feel like a real professional?
What's that?
Getting paid.
Welcome into the pregame lounge, guys. Ahead of Nuggets Pacers, last game for the All-Star break. I'm Harrison Wind, hosting tonight. Adam Mares took the All-Star break a day early, so good for him.
Take this moment to sign right out of this broadcast.
I'm here alongside Brendan Vogt, of course.
What's up, fellas? How we doing? That's all I have. I didn't think of my.
You didn't even ask. You didn't wait for a response. Pretty good.
Happy to hear it.
Yeah. Eric D-Line also in the house.
Guys, who's ready for the last game before the All-Star break?
I'm ready. I'm definitely ready.
I've got big senioritis vibes. Let's go.
Yeah. Superstar Dev Johnson also alongside.
So the thing that bothers me is that I showed up early today to impress Adam, and then I forgot that Adam wasn't here. So I clearly wasn't doing the right thing. So I have to start coming late.
Adam remains unimpressed.
We'll text him to let him know.
According to Adam, you have never been on time still. You have never been early.
I have no idea what's going on.
We got a lot to get to, guys. Nuggets, Pacers, game notes. The Nuggets, according to 538, are one of the championship favorites. News to me. But, yeah, we'll get into that. Our All-Star Night picks, so we'll go through the skills challenge, the three-point contest, the dunk contest, the Rising Stars game, give our picks. Who's definitely going to win each one of those on Sunday night. And then finally, DraftKings best bets for the night. This show, of course, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up. They've got awesome props, awesome little goodies for this weekend's UFC fight. So get in on that. Vote. Give us the rundown. Nuggets, Pacers. I will say this, though, before you give me anything. The vibe in Michael Malone's pregame presser, Malone right now, he's been this like the last two games. He is like a senior on his last week of high school when he just doesn't really care anymore. He's like making fun of people left and right. He's loose, and I like it.
Just trying to get into the break, just take a little bit of break, get healthy, and yeah, they should be loose. It feels like the first time anyone in Nuggets Nation's been able to take a deep breath in a while. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the team's vibe is matching the fans' vibe, the media vibe right now. With that news, let's get into the Nuggets injury report. Paul Millsap, JaMychal Green, Gary Harris, they all remain out. Facundo Campazzo, RJ Hampton, they are still out due to contact tracing. New addition, though, to the list, also due to contact tracing, Marcus Howard. He's out. From the Pacers, Jeremy Lane is questionable. Domantas Sabonis, questionable. Karis LeVert, TJ Warren are both out for this game, fellas.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Sabonis was questionable. Yeah, and Lamb's questionable as well. Pacers coach Nate Bjorken, I think that's how you say it, made it sound like both those guys were going to play. So we'll see. But the Pacers are kind of reeling. They're kind of reeling. They've lost 4 or 5. They did win against the Cavs. TJ McConnell, 10 steals last night.
Yeah, I triple-double with steals.
Yeah. He was just all up in sex land last night. Just all up in sex land.
Didn't he also, his triple-double also included not missing a field goal attempt?
Yeah, 100% from the field.
Dude, this is why I love TJ McConnell.
He had a day.
Big surprise, right?
No, that actually shocked me. 0.
I am the TJ McConnell of the show, the tryhard that does better than he should sometimes, but should be benched. But TJ McConnell, like, there's a couple guys like that throughout the league that when they do well, you're like, wow, that's really surprising, but shouldn't be.
Yeah,
right. Like, he puts in the requisite effort. Good for you, TJ.
Yeah. TJ McConnell is the closest comparison of any player to Facu in the league. Like,
wow.
If there's one guy who kind of plays like Facu, it's TJ McConnell.
I thought you were going to say me. TJ McConnell does remind me more of myself than most NBA players.
Yeah. Did Michael Malone say anything of note in his pregame availability?
You know, I didn't hear anything of note, Harrison. We know he talked about Michael Porter Jr. and Facundo Campazzo being named to that Rising Stars game. I'm proud of Michael Porter Jr., of course. To that energy, that mood you were talking about earlier, Malone said when he told Facundo Campazzo, he doesn't think Facu knew what the Rising Stars game is at all. He's not sure what he just made, but they're happy for Facu as well.
Yeah, I don't blame him because it's like, yeah, you made this team, but there's no game actually being played.
Oh, there's no game?
No, they're not playing.
No, they're not playing this game. This is a ceremonial Congratulations, 29-year-old decorated international champion Facundo Campazzo.
Now he's decorated.
I would actually want to be a part of that. I think that would actually be better than playing in the game, is because it's like my talent is recognized, like international. Like I'm one of the few people that's known in the world. And I'm on like a big stage that I've already accomplished so much, in my homeland, and now I got to go to the United States and do something positive. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
More jokes and hijinks though from Malone, joking about Vlatko. Quote: "He's calling himself Baby Joker." Maybe like a really, really little Joker, Malone said. Vlatko ripped off that nice transition pass, which Malone also said he was just lucky that Najee caught.
Yeah, he also said, quote, "That was hilarious." about the pass. He's like, he let go that one-handed no-look pass. That was hilarious. Like, that was Malone's tone with that. I thought it was so funny.
And one more exchange I love, Chris Marlowe asking Malone about the, quote, Malone zone, unquote. Malone asked, "Did you come up with that?" That's why they pay you the big bucks, Chris. Malone's on one. He's feeling good. He's in vacation mode for us.
What I also like about what Malone said about Vlatko, he said, quote, "He knows how to play. He has a high basketball IQ." And look, that's something we've talked about with Vlatko. If you stick him in there as an 8th or 9th guy alongside Nikola Jokic, I think he can just play that role.
Yeah.
He's a break glass in case of emergency body that, to a certain extent, Malone trusts out there, I think.
And brain. Like, break glass to break that brain out. But it's funny because the 2 games prior, like, we were kind of dogging poor Vlatko because he was, like, very, very behind in the plus-minus. And, like, whenever he was on the court, like, it just wasn't working out. Not necessarily because of his efforts and his contributions, but the chemistry just wasn't working. But, man, last game, like, he really...
He was great, I thought.
Yeah, he looked like, okay, this feels like somebody that is not just a warm body, but actually a plus to bring in. Like,
not just out there, but hey, do you want to guard Giannis tonight? So
and he did a good job. He did great.
Yeah.
He did great.
Yeah. Dev, what's just your read on this game? What are you most fascinated about tonight? What are you going to be watching closest tonight?
Well, first you said that Malone is in a great mood, which is never a good sign, just because like he
you don't think that's a good sign?
He needs to push the guys and he needs to motivate them, or it's just kind of like a go out there and do whatever you want. And you don't need these guys to go out there and do whatever they want.
You're predicting a down third quarter tonight, Dev?
Yeah, down third quarter. I'm not saying that they'll lose the game, but like, down third quarter. Also, with the Pacers, even though that they're like, down right now, that's still not a bad team or a team that you could look past and not think that they're good, because they still have, good pieces in Malcolm Brogdon and also Miles Turner, who's a really good defender. And, they typically try to put him on an island with Jokic, which is, never a good idea. But he's one of the players that he's okay at, slowing him down and giving him different looks. Nobody can stop him in this league. I really don't believe that. But yeah, the Pacers is not a team that you could just look by and get ready for the All-Star game, because they'll come and beat you.
Yeah. How do they guard Jokic? That is definitely the question I'm curious about. Do they send help? You mentioned pre-show, they did that with Embiid recently, the Pacers. Of course, you can't really do that with Jokic quite as comfortably. And Turner's also one of those guys, one of the few guys in the league you're maybe comfortable saying, we'll try it. We'll try one-on-one. So we'll see. I don't know if they're going to send help. It's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, what I was talking about, friend of the show, Caitlin Cooper at IndyCornrows.com posted this piece after the Pacers lost to the 76ers. And they sent a bunch of doubles at Joel Embiid even when Miles Turner was defending him. But the thing about it was the Pacers are just really bad at doubling the post, apparently, like in terms of rotating and just like sending the double at the right time.
Let's go ahead and get
so
some Jokic bets going.
If they are bad at doubling the post and they try to double Nikola Jokic, could be a big assist night. If they play him single coverage, could be a good points night. I don't know.
Yeah, but with that, didn't Embiid go insane against them?
Embiid also had a good game. That's the thing. Yeah, they were just really bad at doubling.
And the worst part about it is Embiid is not the facilitator or the reader, evaluate the game the way that Jokic does. So if he was able to go off last night, he's gonna probably go off again. Whoever's defending Miles Turner, but he's also super prideful, so he's gonna try to give him his best looks. So I expect Jokic to just go at him the entire time, which I'm excited about, and me and D-Line are gonna make money off.
I love it. Yeah, stay tuned for our locks of the night at the end of this pregame show. All right, let's move on. So yesterday, Adam sent this in the Slack, and I wanted to bring it up on today's pregame. 538 came out, or they've had this running, they have a formula for determining who's their championship favorite based on a lot of calculations and RPM and plus minus and a lot of stuff that I don't really understand. But anyway, they came out, and yesterday, the Nuggets had the best odds of winning the championship.
What?
Whoa. The best.
What?
The best. Tied with the Clippers, 15% odds. I think this has changed after last night's game, but this is as of yesterday.
Yeah, it's up there now.
Wait,
Yep.
so you kind of just quickly glossed over it. Do we know what the factors are in this? Like, what is driving this? Like, what is it the Nuggets are excelling at that is rocketing them to the top of this chart?
What it is that 538's formula for their kind of player raters is super high on Nuggets players, I think.
Is it like is it just Jokic that is
Well, it's probably not just
buoying them to the top?
I mean, I think look, the last 12 games you've got a top 20 player in Murray.
Yep.
You've
Yep.
got a top 3 player in the world right now in Jokic. And Porter, forget the potential too. Even just looking at what he is right now. When you look at what you want out of that third guy, well, he's a budding elite rebounder and he's elite floor spacer. So even right now, as is, that's kind of a third piece. And so what it tells me is like, yeah, this formula isn't as concerned about what the Nuggets look like. Down 4 rotation players, 3 guards surrounding Isaiah Hartenstein. They're more concerned with the top end talent. And that's kind of the thing that's easy to forget. We're so close to the Nuggets. We're too far in there, but
I'd like to be closer.
when you have a legitimate big 3 and one of them is a legit MVP finalist, Jokic will be, it's not ideal, but like you can miss on Isaiah Hartenstein. You can miss on your backup center signing. You can have some bench struggles. Formulas are still going to like you as a playoff threat. I don't know if I have them as the number 1 team, guys, but there's something here that I'm buying, and it's the top end talent.
Oh, totally.
Kale, if you go back to that other slide where it has all the players, this is why the Nuggets are rated so high on this thing. Nikola Jokic is just number 1 in their Raptor rating by a huge margin over Joel Embiid. And Jamal Murray is number 10 in Raptor as well. So it's super high on both those guys, and I think that's mainly why the Nuggets are so high on this rating. Dev, thoughts?
On this rating?
Yeah, the thoughts on the Nuggets as a threat, as a championship contender right now.
I do think that it's wild just to have them, at that. But it's also like very positive to know that they went through so many down. Like they've had a down season, not up to what they expected or many people expected. And for them to be the favorites going into the second part of the season just goes on to show you that the numbers back it up. And women lie, men lie. Numbers don't lie.
That's true.
Everybody knows
that.
That's
Yeah.
science, Adam.
That is science.
That
Adam
was
says
Socrates, right? Who first said it?
Adam's actually
Michael Scott said that.
Oh, okay.
Adam's actually here. He's in the chat, and he's trolling me via chat. we
wouldn't expect
cannot get
anything
away.
else.
We
How
cannot
funny
get away
is it, though?
for the cold grasp of Adam.
How funny is it, though, that it's this year? I mean, the vibes.
Dude.
If you look at the last 3 years in Denver, people have felt good about the team, up and coming, fringe contenders. This year, everyone's freaking out, and it's the first year 538's shown them any love in this particular formula.
Yeah, and then also if you look at all the other teams, like everything else does fall into place. It's not like they have another random team that's up there, Orlando Magic, or just a random team that's not doing well. Like it's all of the contending teams and all the teams that were there last year, and then the Nuggets who were also there last year. I just think that they understand that the Nuggets are finally coming together, and although it looks like they weren't doing well, like numbers still back them up.
Right.
Eric, are the Nuggets a championship contender as currently constructed? It's a big question.
It is a really big question. As you know, I am just generally bullish on the Nuggets. Like
That's why I asked you.
I have a hard time. Well, I just have a hard time.
We do know that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit on the show. I'm a raving idiot. But the thing is that I've chosen the Nuggets. I have access to it. To me, in the city of Denver, I could be a Bronco heavy person, which I am. I could be an Avs stan, which I am. But the Nuggets are the team that I identified as the team that I saw with the greatest opportunity in front of them, with Nikola Jokic, with Jamal Murray. And so, to me, I don't know if it's this season, but in my mind, years and years ago, I saw this trajectory. And so things have been going kind of up and down. Obviously, like the vibes have not been where we want them to be. I think a lot of it is like pretty easily explained away, and people don't like to hear, like, okay, injuries. It's like, yeah, that means different people are playing. And I mean, we talk about this all the time. Like when your good players are playing, that's the best version of yourself. And so going into the season, I mean, my view of the Nuggets has not at all been flapped in that I've always seen them as able at least to do what they did last year. Jokic has increased his level of play to such a point that, like, I don't know how you could say if he just gets now Jamal Murray, he gets one other guy to go along with him. It looks like it might be Michael Porter Jr. Like, that's a runaway freight train. Like, that is enough to get it done. Like, that this league has shown you, if you have 3 players that can just absolutely dominate the other team's lineup, it's enough. Like the rest of the team, the margins, the backup unit, all of this matters, but like at a certain point it doesn't.
Right.
Right.
And the Nuggets have what it takes. It's just the question now, as it's always been, is like, can they put it together at the right time? And it feels like at this exact moment, like they'll be able to. So am I surprised to see him at the top? Absolutely. But I believe in the Nuggets. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Vogt?
Yeah, I think that's a healthy perspective. I don't have them as 15% chance of winning the finals,
Sure.
a higher chance than the Nets. That blows my mind. But I think Eric kind of nailed it. Like, the most important thing in the NBA playoffs are your first, second, and third best player. The other stuff matters.
It matters.
Of course it matters.
It matters mostly in the season.
Right. But it's like, how many times out of 10 playoff runs when you have a guy like Jokic, you're competitive in every single one of them, even if there are some first-round exits sprinkled in there. So I view them much like a team last year. The floor is a little dangerous without a Jeremy Grant type in the playoffs. Maybe they could get upset in the first round. They could also mess around and go to the conference finals. I kind of view them the same way I do last year. A fringe contender. If everything breaks right, they're talented enough. But I don't think anyone should put money on them to win.
All right, let's move on, guys. Sunday night, instead of an entire All-Star weekend this year, we get one night. We get an All-Star game. We get a skills challenge. We get a three-point contest. We get a slam dunk contest as well. We are going to go through and pick our winners for each of these 3 events. So let's start with the skills challenge.
What are we putting, like $100,000 per guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
just a unit.
One unit, whatever you want.
I shouldn't have. I revealed my unit.
Yeah.
You're not
there you go, right there. You're always bragging.
Let's start with the skills challenge. Here's who we've got participating: Robert Covington, Julius Randle, Luka Doncic, Domantas Sabonis, Chris Paul, Nikola Vucevic.
Hold on, this is cheating. This is a rigged event
for Luka Doncic to run away with this.
What?
Or Chris Paul?
It's Chris Paul by himself. It's an island. Only one of them are skilled. Like
Luka is very skilled. When you said Robert Covington and Julius Randle, I thought maybe we were talking about the screening challenge.
What do you want?
What on God's green
Is this
earth
a
is
step back
Rocco
challenge?
doing?
Luka's not winning a skills challenge. Like, it's Chris Paul, and it's not. The odds are probably going to be through the roof.
I might take Luka.
You're going to lose your money. It's not. There's no way that you go Luka on this.
Okay, well,
100,000 down the drain.
Well, what do I care? I mean, it's just money.
Just another unit.
Just a unit.
Another day, another unit is like I always say. What a strange lineup. You know who I really, really want to see in that is just an absolute travesty that we don't get to see?
Who's that?
Facundo Campazzo.
I thought you were going to say another Nugget, but
Who?
the guy who's going to be down there at All-Star Week.
Jokic. Well, Jokic has done it
Nikola
before.
Yeah.
He's been in the skills challenge. I want to see Facundo in there.
Yeah, I actually also heard from a source that
Wind chime.
Nikola Jokic turned down an invite to the skills challenge.
Oh, you heard it here
They
first.
wanted him. He turned it down.
And then so they called Robert Covington instead.
That's what you have to do when you're like the best in the league. Like, you don't ask me to go to the skills challenge. You ask me to go to the dunk contest. Don't ask me about the skills challenge.
Well, they were probably caught in a hard place there. They were
3-point contest.
We should extend this guy another offer, but we're not putting him in the dunk contest.
On a serious note, I believe Robert Covington is there because he went to an HBCU, and HBCUs are like incorporated into this All-Star event. He's the only player in the
that
league
case,
who
I'm
went to
for
an
it.
HBCU.
Wait, what is it?
That's why he's there.
He's the only player in the league?
What?
I believe so, yeah.
I don't know what an HBCU
A
is.
historically black college and university.
Wow, I wish I had
They don't teach that at Colorado State.
All of my jokes are rescinded, and I'm glad they called Robert Covington.
It's been nice
Yep.
seeing you all. I'll see you on the other side of being canceled.
Okay. Deb, you got Chris Paul?
Absolutely got Chris Paul.
Yikes.
D-line has Robert Covington. Vogt, who you got?
Vucevic.
I'm going Chris Paul as well.
Kidding. I'm going Chris Paul.
Let's go to the 3-point contest now. We've got 6 guys in this one. Devin Booker, Zach LaVine, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum.
This is nice.
I'll start with you again, Dev. Who you got?
So this is an easy one too. Like it's a battle between Devin Booker and Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I think Steph Curry realizes he's the best shooter in the entire world, so he probably doesn't take it as serious as Devin Booker does. So I think that I'm going to go with Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. Okay. D-line?
I like that D-Book. That's a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
That feels right. Yeah, let's do. Did he go to an HB?
Nope. Only one. We just went over this.
Vogt, who you got?
I just want to know why Donovan Mitchell's in this thing. No shade. Mitchell's awesome, but you just look at the tiers of three-point shooters in that thing, and then you look at Donovan Mitchell. One of these things is not like the others. I'm going to take Steph, though. I'm going to take Steph.
Yeah, I think Steph Curry might absolutely run away with this thing.
This actually might be the case. I feel like the 3-point winner is never quite who you expect. Because the 3-point shooting really just comes down to who catches fire for
that's true.
Just a minute in time.
Steph's been in 3 and he's only won 1.
Steph has only won once out of 3 times.
I mean, that's probably pretty good.
I'm just going to put my money on the best shooter of all time.
Yeah, I'm going Steph Curry as well. All right, the third and final contest at All-Star Weekend, and it should be the most exciting, but I have a feeling it's going to be a huge downer. The dunk contest, guys. The dunk contest. The 3 participants carefully chosen by the NBA.
Jesus.
Anthony Simons, who I did a little bit of research on this, has 2 dunks this season.
Dope.
I wasn't even sure he could actually dunk.
Were they all both like?
He has a wild vertical though.
Were they both like windmill behind the back dunks in game, or
I don't think
just
so.
Standard dunks?
Probably.
I remember last year, like he was insane in the warm-ups, like going behind the back and doing all these things. It is wild that they chose a player that does not showcase themselves as a crazy athletic guy or anything like that, but I mean that's interesting.
Yeah, we've also got Cassius Stanley, who has played 23 total minutes for the Pacers actually this year.
But he's meant for this. This is literally the only reason that he's in the league.
Yeah, and
he's a G League player.
Yeah,
right?
And then Obi Toppin from the Knicks. So,
should we call this the dump contest?
The dump contest.
That's good.
Yeah. This is not interesting. This is very not. If you need a break to turn off your TV, like this is the time to do it.
Well, they're also doing this at halftime of the actual All-Star game too.
You're forced to watch it. You're forced to watch it. That's smart. That is smart.
Dastardly.
I love you're forced to watch it. Like we're all going to be watching the All-Star game. No, we don't.
I've got a take. I think everyone around the NBA universe is saying exactly what we're saying about this dunk contest, and that's why I'm holding out hope that it's going to be a sneaky good dunk contest, and we'll be a little less caught up in like, oh, that's a big name, and that's my guy, and my guy. All 3 of these guys, if these guys can all jump, these guys can all dunk, so it may not be Aaron Gordon again, but these are dudes that can put on a show.
It's also really smart. They've got 3 guys that nobody has high expectations for, and if they exceed those expectations, you're like, oh, that was not that bad.
You know what you just described? This pregame show.
Exactly.
Do you guys want to make picks, or are we so turned off by this field that we don't want to?
All I want to know is who's going to jump over a car or like an airplane or something. What kind of props are we going to have involved in this?
I don't
know. Year's,
I'm not sure.
Like a giant COVID virus or something. Wouldn't that be cool?
Okay, well, I'm taking Cassius Stanley. I guess we can move on then to the best segment of the night. Fire up your DraftKings Sportsbook app. Get out your phone. Open it up. Let's make some bets here.
Make you guys
of course, this show is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. The Nuggets tonight are favorites. They are favorites. They are minus 3.5 points. 3.5 point favorites tonight. So slight favorites on the road. I think that's a fairly good one.
They have the rest advantage.
Yo,
right?
This is brutal though. This is the game right before the All-Star break. We have no idea if this game means anything to anybody.
Right before the All-Star break in a season that's been taxing beyond any other regular season before.
Right. So this could be like real phone it in time.
It could be.
That's true.
I don't think the Nuggets are in a position to phone it in. They just aren't off to the start of the season that they wanted to be.
I agree. It doesn't mean they won't.
Yeah, of course.
Nuggets are having fun again.
Of course,
yeah.
That's also another thing like that. Just like take into account. It's like, hey, give us your all one more time, and then get a week off. You guys deserve it after this game. So I think that they understand like we have to play well. We have to like close out. So 3.5, take it. Take it.
Dev is betting with the vibes, dude. It's a that's a vibe check if I've ever heard one.
Dev, are there any other player props that stick out to you that jump off the page as locks?
You want a lock?
Do you want
Dev's lock of the day?
I would love Dev's lock of the day.
It's the easiest lock that anyone has ever taken.
Okay.
Jokic to do whatever he wants. Over 45.5.
Really?
Points, rebounds, and assists.
That's easy.
Easy.
He can get that on points alone, probably not. But he can get up there, though.
45.5. That's easy.
He could. Lock it down. Write it in Sharpie. Jokic over 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Let's see here. Points. Will Barton over 12.5. It's coming off a nice game.
Yeah, Will Barton is on the uptick. Absolutely. He's had, 3 good games in a row?
It's been good game, bad game, good game, bad game.
But wasn't it like
so you know what this row means?
His point totals
this
were
he's
pattern
due for a
means?
bad one.
Due for a bad one.
Yeah.
But weren't his bad games still came with a decent point total?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not lately.
All right, well, never mind.
Let's scroll over to 3-pointers.
Yeah, let's take a look at this.
Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 threes is plus money. That seems like a nice one for me.
Jamal Murray.
This was the Indiana Pacers were the first team Porter went off against, right?
Oh,
Didn't
the
he drop
step-back game.
The step-back game.
Yeah.
It was like 37 points he had that night. That seems too many.
I think it was 25, which was his career high before the bubble.
Before the bubble.
Yeah, and Michael Porter Jr. got eliminated pretty early last game with foul trouble. I kind of feel like he wants to come back and make things right. So I think I think it's a big Michael Porter Jr. heavy night betting. I'm definitely in on those threes. I'm forever in on Jamal Murray threes until he proves me.
3.5 is a big number, brother.
Yeah, but
he was
that just
1
means,
for 5 last game.
Yeah, but he took. I think wasn't he like 1 for 7 or 2 for 7? Like he's taking the shot. The point is
I think he was 1 for 5.
The point is he's taking the shots.
Yeah.
Like he's not shying away from them anymore. Like at the early point of the season, you couldn't bet on him because he would just pass up so many obvious 3-pointers. So I like it. I like it.
Over 23.5 for the MPJ points, rebounds, and assists combination. He's been a double-double machine lately.
He doesn't get any assists, though.
Yeah,
it was also the
tough
scoring
one.
that was down last game. That's why he didn't get that.
Right.
It was a bad matchup for him. This is, a better matchup. He's going against McDermott. And I don't know if you guys know, McDermott's having a rough week. So I expect Michael Porter Jr. to just attack him the entire time.
Michael Porter Jr. double-double, plus 190.
All right, I like that one.
Wow.
That's a good value bet. That's a good value bet.
190.
I'm probably going to get in on that. Michael Porter Jr. plus 190 for a double-double tonight against the Pacers, against Doug McDermott.
I'm in big on that.
Pacers have a big front line, but, Porter can get going on the glass.
Wow, plus 190.
Anything else stand out to you guys?
I just really like the Nuggets tonight.
Yeah.
To win the game, straight up. The rest advantage, they're rolling, having fun. Pacers are banged up. This could be one that they go out there and they just drop the hammer.
Anything else?
That was just so great. If you want one more lock,
Yeah, we'll take one more lock.
Malcolm Brogdon over points, rebounds, and assists.
What's the line?
Right now it is at
20.5.
31 and
his
a half.
points are
31 and a
20.5.
half.
You're
for
taking the
Brogdon.
over as a lock.
Yes,
That's a lot.
Yes, that's a lock.
Nuggets
That's a lock.
backcourt hasn't
Not
been
a lot.
the best defensively
That's a lock.
this year.
All right.
Except when they go to a
All right.
2-3 zone, apparently.
Yes, that's the Malone zone.
The lockdown 2-3 zone. That forces a good 3-point shooting team into a ton of misses. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will be back for the post-game show following Nuggets Pacers, the last game of the first half of this regular season. Thanks for listening. Throw a like in there right below this video before you get out of here, and we'll see you after the game.
Let's go.
It's a vibe.